Hello and welcome to this brief introduction to writing personal statements from Real Focus. This is just a sample of the sorts of ideas that are out there and my approach to working on personal statements, which I've worked on for many years now and read hundreds of them. So here are some ideas just to get you started on how you could really excel with your personal statement. Let's start by looking at the whole idea of the UCAS form. It is, of course, online and everything is submitted through ucas.com. When you write your personal statement, it's part of a package of information. So the universities are getting personal information about you, much of which they don't see until later in the process, details about your schooling, examination results to date, other information about qualifications that you may have undertaken, work that you may have done, and then finally the written document, as it were, of the personal statement and the reference. And it's worth looking at the form as a whole and remembering that information which is given elsewhere does not need to be repeated in the reference or in the personal statement unless there's a very good reason for it. So when writing, I know what A-levels you're doing, you don't necessarily need to tell me that. The referee will do because there's going to be comments on each subject. But you only need to tell me things you're doing if you then wish to do something with them. So let's think a little bit about the personal statement. It is an opportunity for you to shine, and it's an opportunity for you to grab the interest of the person you're writing to. So it's worth thinking of it in terms of writing a letter to an admissions tutor and explaining to them why it is that you really, really want to do this course. Now remember, they're the expert in the course, so they know what it entails, but what's necessary is for you to fit, like a piece of a jigsaw, into the space for that course. So if your real interest is in maths, but you're telling me all about how you want to study French, that won't work. You have to look at how your personal capabilities and interests match that course. So if you're able to overcome challenges, if you really enjoy learning languages, if you really enjoy solving maths problems, these are the sorts of things that need to come out. And they can come out across your curriculum. So for example, if you love solving problems and you're doing maths and different sciences, that is something that can come through in all those subjects. It can also come through, say, in economics or even history if you wanted to. But think about how the course is going to require you to think and the kinds of things it's going to do, and then look for specific examples in your past of how you've done those things. Remember, the person reading it may not be an expert, but they'll be looking for those ideas. And one of the things that really speaks volumes is detail. If you tell me that you're interested in something, that is basically meaningless, because I can say I'm interested in anything. But if you give me some evidence for that by telling me of specific books you've read, specific activities you've done, ways in which you've pursued an idea, then I can start to see evidence that you really are interested. So make sure that matches up with the course. Make sure you've dug into the course on the UCAS website, looked for the kind of capabilities that they're looking for, look for the level of ability they're looking for, and then talk to that based on your own experience. Now, finally, it's worth thinking a little bit about how this interacts with your reference. Your referee really needs to support everything that you say. So if you tell me that you are really interested in early Chinese literature, fantastic. You've told me some poems that you've read, etc. But then I read the reference and it says you're a fantastic mathematician and you've never had anything to do with literature. I'll be a little bit confused. So try to work with your referee, both in terms of giving relevant detail, but also in terms of thinking about how you use those two sets of 4,000 characters to get maximum leverage. If you won a prize, for example, in your GCSE years, just tell me once. The referee can tell me that. That's a bit of information about you. If, however, you won the prize and it led you on to do something else, and I'm going to start to follow your journey, get it into your personal statement. But you must work together so that the reference supports the personal statement. And statements of achievement can really come through that, whilst reflection and thought about what you've learned and your journey in learning can come through your personal statement. This is all quite a big job, and one of the hardest elements of writing a personal statement is actually the final edit, of getting everything in. So if you're interested in working with me to shape your personal statement, to shape the process of your entrance, and also to edit the personal statement, do get in touch, because I'd love to work with you and to ensure that you get the most successful application you can.